Hi there, it's Scott Hamilton, ROCKFILE back with another podcast review. This time I'm revisiting the movie Two Guns. I really enjoyed this movie in the theater. I went to see it because I'm a fan of Denzel Washington and I like Mark Wahlberg, and it had a good cast, looked like an action movie. $61 million budget, went on to gross $131 million, so it was a bit of a hit as well. But nothing else since. What happened with this 2013 movie? Well, I had no idea until I was sitting in the theater that it was based on a comic book series, first of all. It says based on Boom Comics' Two Guns, which was a series by Stephen Grant. And I guess it did well because somebody optioned it and made a Hollywood script out of it. Denzel Washington, Mark Wahlberg, Paula Patton, Bill Paxton, one of his last roles, James Marsden, Fred Ward, Edward James Olmos, Robert John Burke. It's a really killer cast in this kind of B-movie story of two guys. Well, I'll get into a few spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, it's been out for 7 years. And if you're fans of the actors, you should, because they're really good in the role. So if you don't want to know any more, I would turn it off now. But Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg have great chemistry together. When the secrets are revealed and plots come out, I think some of them could have been handled a little better. And that's probably what hurt the movie not being bigger than it was. I mean, it made double its budget back, so it did make money. And the director is an Icelandic director. He made a couple of movies. He made Contraband with Mark Wahlberg right before this and went on to make Everest, which did quite well. That grossed over $200 million. Baltazar Komokor, he's an Icelandic director, and he's got a good eye for action. The action in this movie is really, really good. So Two Guns opens up with Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg. They meet, they get questioned. Then it starts messing with time. It will show you flashbacks of what happened 24 hours earlier, or, that kind of thing. And the movie does that through the rest of the film, but doesn't overuse it. I was talking with my roommate the other night that sometimes that jumping around in time thing is used to overly extend a movie or overly complicate an otherwise fairly simple script or film. In this case, I'm sure it was part of the original storyline and is why some of the things happen. It helps reveal information when they jump forward to something and then go back to something. Matter of fact, this came up again while watching Premium Rush, which is a movie I haven't watched in years. Watch that, going to do a podcast review, but the same thing, the time travel device with flashbacks and such is used very well to reveal more information about the characters, the story, and the movie itself than it is just to extend the runtime and overcomplicate the movie. Overall, I really enjoyed the flick this time. I haven't watched Two Guns in years. It only runs about 100 minutes plus credits. And like I said, Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg have real chemistry in this movie. Now, to get into some spoilers, if you haven't turned it off already, you find out that although they both appear criminals at the beginning, Denzel Washington is a DEA special agent and Mark Wahlberg is a Navy special agent. And they were both kind of working undercover to take down some bad guys. And it turns out there's a bigger plot going on that they were used to steal some money that was actually somebody else's money, and it's a bigger thing. And then you've got Bill Paxton playing this very cold and evil character, and James Marsden, you don't know which side he's on, and Fred Ward as a rear admiral. I mean, it's a fun movie, and if you're looking for an action movie, as I've reviewed like lately the Equalizer movies, again with Denzel, this is a movie that's played seriously, but it's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of humor. The two guys joke with each other through the entire film, and there are many times where you think they're not going to survive the experience, and they do, and it continues to build on the humorous things that happen between the two of them, the little anecdotes, the callbacks to other things said in the movie. It is a pretty darn good script. The music is good. Cinematography is good. Oliver Wood did a good job. I mean, it's a pretty movie. It's got some pretty spectacular set pieces, some pretty spectacular gunfights. I don't know why this isn't remembered better than it is. It plays out like like a Hobbs and Shaw. It's two really good actors just really enjoying their roles. You can turn off your brain and enjoy the film as a great action movie, but there's enough plot there to keep up with, and the plot twists and all that, and who's a good guy and who's a bad guy thing is part of it. Like I said, most of that could have been handled better than it was, but again, it's a fun film. Two Guns with Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg was a modest hit back in 2013, and nobody talks about it anymore. But I bought a Steelbook at the time and was looking for movies to revisit during this whole pandemic thing, since we're not getting a whole lot of new releases. And wow, I really enjoyed it again. This is, not quite a guilty pleasure because it's not a bad movie, but it's not a great movie. It's just a lot of fun and very entertaining to watch. Two Guns on Blu-ray. Great picture, great sound. Don't know if it'll ever get a 4K upgrade, but, I might think about it depending on, what they do to it. Anyway, I'm Scott Hamilton. I'm ROCKFILE. My website is therockfile.com. I have a bunch of podcasts coming up. Going to spread them out a little bit. I've had some time to do a few reviews of things, and I know I have not talked about The Mandalorian yet, but it's coming. Trust me. Thanks for listening.